See, I go out on a limb. I like making big bets.
I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin, straight out of Louisville, Kentucky. Our show is dedicated to all things football, and our purpose is to entertain and educate. During the football season, we focus on helping new and experienced football fans be better bettors by offering our weekly picks and insight to help you on your winning parlay bets. And in the offseason, y'all, we're here to entertain and discuss current football news and also the history of the game. We got some great stuff coming up, y'all. It's going to be awesome. So welcome back, everybody. Best time of the year is here, folks. Playoff time, baby. Yes, sir. I'm your host, Mike Stallings, and y'all know who's with me. The original OG from way back before the Mac, the one known as Steve Dennison. What's up, Money? How you feeling about how the cards fell for the playoffs this year?
Man, it's all good. I'm talking about everything is looking good.
Man, it is. It's got some juicy, some nice matchups.
Yeah.
Real good matchup. So we're going to get into all that, y'all. So
Yeah.
We got a great show for y'all. We're going to cover last week's picks, some up-and-coming changes with the annual Coaching Carousel. We're also going to talk about the beautiful ending to the college football season with my good buddy Jim Harbaugh leading the Michigan Wolverines to the top. And, of course, we're going to be covering the NFL playoffs, y'all. With Steve, he's going to focus on the NFC, y'all.
Yes.
And he thinks the NFC is going to bring it home this year, but I'm coming with the AFC, the best conference. And so we're going to be talking more about that later, y'all. And we also got some good game picks and player prop bets for you at the end. So, Steve, go on and tell us where they can find us at.
You know y'all can find us on YouTube. I mean, the views are starting to go up like a rocket, and we sure appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And at KF Pickin on Twitter, and for you youngins, X. And at Kentucky Fried Pickin Podcast on Instagram. We keep it going, y'all, and we love to see y'all. Let us hear y'all voice.
Yeah, comment. We love the comments, y'all. Speaking of comments, we had another comment from a Michael Cannon.
Yes.
Now, you know, he is a comedian, but this time he was being, I think, serious when he said that he thinks the Bears should trade Justin Fields.
Yes, he did.
Draft Williams or Penix and try to get Marvin Harrison Jr. if Harrison declares for the draft, that is, right? So the Bears might have to trade up. They got the 1st and the 9th pick. They might have to trade up to get the Harrison duo.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting look. I like that pick. You know, if they could work that out, it's possible. But I don't know. Do you think Penix or Williams is better than Justin Fields?
Well, my 2 cents is it seems like.
Or would you go a different route totally?
Yeah, I would. I like where he's coming from, and I understand. But my 2 cents, I think Justin Fields is a solid piece. Mm-hmm. So I would want to get rid of him. But I do see where he's coming from. Yeah. I'm more like just build up around Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I am more like that too. I think it's possible that he could be all right just because he's a dual threat. I like the dual threat quarterback, but maybe he just needs more weapons. But that's definitely an interesting outlook. So I had to give that one a shout out because I like that one. If you just want to totally just flip the script and start all over, basically, you can go that route.
And Michael Cannon, we love the comments. Keep running with us, man.
Steve, go on and go over our picks from last week. You want to go ahead and start for us?
Yeah, I'm the NFC man, so I ain't going to go too deep. I'm just going to run them down and talk about them a little bit later when we get into the NFC. But the Rams versus the 49ers, the Rams pulled that out 21-20. The Cowboys versus Washington, Cowboys 38-10. And just to go back, the Rams, I picked the 49ers, so the Rams won that, so I didn't get that one. Cowboys versus Washington, I got the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Eagles, I don't know what's going on, y'all. Eagles versus Giants. Terrible. Mike is.
And they weren't sitting people. They weren't sitting people last week, but
guess-
it looked like it.
Guess when they did sit somebody? When the game was over, guess who they set? Hurts.
Yeah.
I said, man.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good game.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to jump
And
in.
no, because that's yeah. The Giants won that 27-10, y'all. So I didn't get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Jags versus Titans. That's another one. The Jags had to win. Titans pulled that out 28-10.
I think if they would have won, they would have been in the playoffs, right?
Yeah. It's just, man. And Texans versus Colts. Texans pulled that out 23-19, y'all, which is what I expected. I got that one. Bucks versus Panthers. I don't really roll with the Bucks 9-0, but Panthers are so weak. Yeah, Bucks pulled that out.
It's almost a gimme, right?
Yeah.
On the parlay, it's almost one you got to take if it's not too. I didn't see what the payout on it was. Did you happen to notice?
No, I didn't. You know what?
I didn't catch it.
I can't even remember because I think last week. Because, no, you did a big parlay last week. I think Mike did like 20 for y'all, so I know y'all made something out of that.
Well, I did 15 and 2 did not end up playing. So I had Kyron Williams, who did not play. So I had him for 40 yards. So that scratched that one off, right? And then I had DeAndre Swift as well for 40 yards or more, and he did not play as well. So those two sat out. So basically, those are pushes. You just drop them off, which I don't even think they were available to pick up anyway. But my other picks were as follows. I had CeeDee Lamb going for 60 yards, and he went for 98 yards. I also had CeeDee Lamb for over 5.5 catches. He had 13 of them. And then I had the total points of the Cowboys versus Washington game being over 37.5 points, and they hit that with 48. And then going over to the Eagles versus Giants game where the Eagles were a huge letdown. A.J. Brown got hurt, so I had him for 40 yards and over 4.5 receptions. But he got hurt, so of course he didn't hit either of those target goals. Moving on over to the Jags versus Titans. I had both teams to score at least 10 points, and they both did. Score was 20-28. I had Etienne for going for 40 yards, and he went for 57. Then in the Texans versus Colts game, I had Stroud for 200-plus yards passing, which he hit with 264. I also had Pittman over 5 receptions. He ended up with 5 catches. And then I also had Pittman for 50 receiving yards, but he came up 6 yards short with 44. So that was a little disappointing. But going over to the Bucks game versus the Panthers, I thought the Bucks were going to score a lot more points. They did not. 3 field goals. It's pretty pathetic, actually. But I had Mike Evans going for 40 yards, and he only went for a measly 22. I also had the Bucks scoring over 21.5 points, and they came up far short at 9. But I did have Rashad White for 40-plus yards, and he went for 75. So overall, I was 8-5 last week. Not as good as I would have liked, but an injury and a couple people coming up short. That's how it rolls in the parlay game. But I am going to hit this week, Steve. I'm hitting.
You know what? And this is the time to hit. Hit hard. Playoffs, y'all.
Yeah, playoffs. Getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're going to take a little break here for our sponsor, and we'll be right back with a whole lot of stuff for you, including the Coaching Carousel, as well as Michigan's win in college football. And we're also going to talk about our picks and a few other things. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back. Kentucky Fried Pickin is proudly sponsored by Sack Spray. Don't let the body gravy get carried away. Get you some ballsy Sack Spray today. Just one spray will have you smelling fresh all day. So quit messing around. Put the powder down. Get some Ball Guard liquid powder so you don't end up with clam chowder. Use liquid deodorant for your sack so your girl will keep coming back. Go to website ballwash.com for specials and to place an online order.
Oh, no.
Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all listening in 2024. It's going to be a great year, y'all. We're here every Friday, and we're cooking up something special with the Kentucky Fried Mashup podcast coming later this year.
Yes.
We don't have a target date yet because we're so focused on the playoffs right now, focused on the money that's left because the season is almost at the end. I'm going to be heartbroken, Steve.
There's plenty of money left, though.
I might not be able to get out of bed for two days when the season ends. But when the season winds down, y'all, we're getting back in the lab, brewing up something real nice for your Sunday evenings, chilling at the crib. And as we're gearing up and planning for Kentucky Fried Mashup, there are 18 NFL teams that are already gearing up for the NFL draft in April and planning for the 2024 season. And 7 of those teams are looking for a new coach right now. And
Yes.
2 possibly still gone.
Yes.
That's a lot of turnover. Man, could you imagine if the company you work for fired 22 to 25% of the managers at your work?
Ooh.
Drastic change, right? It's drastic.
Yeah, everybody would be scared.
And my point is the NFL is cutthroat. You better win, you better produce, or you are gone.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Win, win, win. Which, let's go ahead and talk about those, Steve. So let's just get those coaches out of the way. Frank Reich out of the Panthers.
Yeah.
Which he got fired early in the season. I don't remember what week it was, but it wasn't far into the season. They started out really bad, and they was like, "Yeah, we ain't gonna do this."
It's nothing else you could do. You got Bryce Young. He's got to go because you're not gonna get rid of Bryce Young. So
yeah, he's rookie on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to keep him at least for a couple years, 2-3 years. By the third year, they'll decide whether they want to keep him or not usually. But
yeah.
The Chargers, they also fired Brandon Staley. He's out. Now, I might mention the Panthers, y'all. They don't have a first-round draft pick this year because they traded it to the Bears last year.
Yeah.
So they don't have a first-round draft pick. So the coach, whoever comes in, you're already coming in, a little bit crippled just coming in. So, something to consider. Any new coaches coming, that's something they're going to be looking at.
It just kind of drives your point home. It's, somebody's got to go. The coach. We need something new because you ain't going to have too much different to work with.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not much to work with, so they better hit on those other picks. So Brandon Staley, he's out. The Chargers have the number 5 pick in the draft this year, so that's going to be a nice pick.
Yeah.
Potentially a quarterback, maybe. I don't know.
They should have never been in the position they were, so he had to go too.
Well, actually, the Chargers don't need a quarterback, right? Because they got Herbert. He'll be back. He signed a big contract, I believe. So he's definitely back. So you're looking at probably an offensive tackle, I would say. Chargers. They probably need to protect him. So that's probably what they're going to go with, number 5.
Yeah. Then
you got the Falcons. Got rid of Arthur Smith. Now they I guess you could say they need a quarterback.
Same, sometime when you pick, because they picked Bijan, somebody's got to go, and it ain't gonna be him. We just picked him.
Yeah,
we need somebody else who can put it together.
Right. So Arthur Smith is out. He had 3 losing seasons in a row. I think 7-9 all 3 seasons. He's out. The quarterback position.
He said he's out. Yeah.
Quarterback position is, I was hoping my boy Desmond Ridder would come through this year, which he's still inexperienced. He still might develop, but that's my man. He's straight from Hikes Point Lobos, baby. Represent Louisville, Kentucky. Hikes Point Lobos. Where my Lobos at, y'all? We roll deep.
And it's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out though, Mike. Yeah. So if you need a quarterback, this is a good time.
Yeah. I still need to do my evaluations on the quarterbacks coming out this year. I haven't really had the time to look at them. But I know last year there was a lot, and there were some good ones that got, drafted lower, not in the first round. So you had Levis from the Titans came out, and, then the year before you had Purdy. So sometimes you can find a good value lower rounds if you don't have that top pick, because the Falcons have the number 8 pick.
You got to look, and when you just said that, Mike, just something I'm gonna say real quick. You got to look at the picks too. Who's picking early? Bears, in my opinion, don't need a quarterback, and then you got Cardinals a little bit later don't need a quarterback. So see, that might push some of the quarterbacks, and somebody can get them later.
True, that's a good point. Which let's go ahead and move on over to. So the next coach that was out was Ron Rivera, who I'm a fan of. I like Ron. It didn't work out for him in the Commanders, but they're looking for big change there. They done brought in two big names in the front office world. They brought in Golden State's old GM, and then they also brought in Chris Spielman. He used to be a linebacker for the Detroit Lions. So they brought them in as basic consultants to choose their next coach. So I'm anxious to see who that might be. Yeah. And I have an idea. Who it might be, Steve. And I'll talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So we got the Titans as well, who fired Mike Vrabel. They have the number 7 pick this year, which I forgot to mention. The Commanders have the number 2 pick. So that's big too. Yep. So Vrabel's out. Then we also have Seahawks. This was a kind of surprise to me, Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Now, he's not completely fired. They're moving him to the front office, some sort of player personnel situation. I don't know exactly what's going on there yet.
Yeah.
But out as coach.
Time for a change of philosophy.
And somebody I know said probably should have changed after he didn't go for run the ball on the one.
With the beast mode.
Beast mode. You didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, ain't that? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted him out that time. But, yeah, so Pete Carroll, man, moving to the front office. Then also the Raiders are replacing the coach who they fired early in the season, Josh McDaniels. And that is an interesting situation because Antonio Pierce took over and he went 5-4.
Yep.
And I don't know, Steve. I mean, I felt like they had a lot more fire. What do you think?
Yeah, it did. I mean, to me, it seemed like things changed immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like the very next game they looked different.
Yeah. And, it takes time. So you think you give them a little more time to start off, preseason, training camp, all that, it might even improve. And
he would probably, if you're an interim coach and you get brought on, do you keep all the coaches or do you fire some? Maybe you fire some of them and bring in some guys you like?
I think you can, because it's been done before where people brought their whole crew. Mm-hmm. So the people that was there left. I guess, unless you really.
But he was already there, part of the staff, so he knows a lot of these guys was working with him anyway. So that's kind of.
Well, I would think he would probably keep them.
Yeah, maybe, but there's usually some change, coordinators or position coaches. Somebody leaves, but anyway. But I think they should give him a shot. I thought he did good enough.
Yeah, me too.
I like the difference that he made as far as their energy level and passion. It seemed like they had more passion for the game. Once he took over. So I'm in your corner, Antonio. I hope you get the position, man.
Yeah. Unless it's a mastermind out there where, you can't pass them up, I don't see why they wouldn't keep them.
Yeah. So that rounds out the coaches who were fired this season, and I feel sorry for them, man, because, a lot of people don't think about this, but all them coaches got families. So they're about to be uprooted. Kids are going to have to go to new schools, all that stuff. Wife going to have to find a new job. So, or if she does work, maybe she doesn't work. They make pretty good money as coaches, but she probably doesn't have to work.
Yeah.
But if she does, it's we're your friends. Leave your friends behind that you meet. So it's always tough for a coach, man. It's a tough job, tough position. Kind of like in the military, basically. Living that life. Also living that life is Matt Eberflus of the Bears. He's on the fence, but I did read somewhere today that he may be staying.
And they got the 1st pick and the 9th pick. Those are, that's priceless.
It's priceless. Those are gold. Now, here's the thing though. If they don't fire him, they must believe in him because you don't want to mess up those two. You rarely get 2 top 10 picks.
And they doing good. Well, let me rephrase it. The end of the year, they really picked up.
Right. I think that's what saved them, honestly, because they weren't looking so hot at the beginning of the year.
No.
He was probably on the way out.
Not at all.
But then Justin Fields came back from injury and they went on a run.
Yeah.
I think they won 5 games in a row. So I think that 5-game run is what saved his job, honestly.
That's what makes me think Justin Fields is kind of a staple because you got the 1st and 9th. You can,
Which there's a lot of. You can like think about what the Houston Texans did last year, which I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit, but they had the top 2 of the top 3 picks.
Yeah.
And they hit on both.
Boom.
So
boom.
And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But that brings us to the last coach who's on the fence. We're still waiting to figure out things. None other than the legend Bill Belichick. Man, could you ever see the day that he be getting fired?
Well, I've always
I guess everybody eventually gets fired.
I've always told you, Mike, that, Tom Brady, I think that's what was carrying the team. I don't want to say carrying, but that made a big difference. And now it's on Bill. It's time to coach, so we'll see.
Seems to be what most people are thinking these days, that Tom Brady was carrying Bill Belichick on his back.
Yeah, and it makes it even worse that it seemed like they let Tom go, like it was Bill's decision, and he was carrying you. Yeah. Oh, let me stop talking before I start getting upset.
Well, I do think Tom was a difference maker. Which every great coach has a great player. You won't find a great coach who didn't have a good star player.
Yeah, and whenever he's been doing it for so long. I think he came to the Patriots in 2000. So I give Bill his props just because, regardless if it was Tom or not, he was the coach. I just think being able to score and having somebody with pinpoint accuracy made it a lot easier.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So,
of course.
And then he got 7 rings, and was it 6 or 7? How many did he get?
6. Brady
6.
Brady went and got the 7th at the Bucks.
Yeah.
Which makes this argument harder to make for if anybody's on Bill's side, because the proof is in the pudding. Tom's got the win outside of the Patriots, and Bill has struggled and only made the playoffs once since Brady left. So
and then the Bucks, which I talk about this. The next year, they let Cooper Kupp. Bucks would have been in there again. They let Cooper Kupp just run free and score a touchdown, and I thought that pissed me. Well, that made me. Let's move on.
Steve was upset. He was texting me. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was.
And we even said before the play, Steve. We texted. I said, "You better put somebody over top of Kupp, double team him," and they let him one-on-one coverage, and he toasted him.
Yeah, because Tom would have got another one. I believe that's just hypothetically, but yeah, that really upset. Mike remembers. I was, yeah,
I do remember. That's why I'm laughing, y'all.
Y'all can tell how our memories are, because we talking about beast mode, not getting the ball. We talking about the Cooper Kupp running on the Rams. It's. Yeah, some of the stuff I'm telling you.
Throwback Wednesday, y'all.
Love the NFL.
All right, y'all. So brings me to the last thing, though. So, yes, there's a lot of coaching spots open, 7 of them, and there's one coach who I think might be leaving college after winning that championship, Steve.
Yeah.
Jim might be coming back to the NFL.
Yeah.
I think it's a done deal, if you ask me. I think it's done. They asked him about it after the game. He said, "Guys, just let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy it." Because he knows it's the end.
Mike pointed out something to me that it makes common sense. Because at first I'm like, you riding high, Michigan's looking good, but it is a couple of things swirling in Michigan that I can see would help you say, well, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I got what I came for. Let me move on and take it to another level.
In the form of NCAA storm brewing.
Yeah.
Maybe some violations, some scholarship losses. Who knows? Right?
Yeah. Who knows? Scholarship losses.
Nobody ever knows with NCAA.
Man, that ain't funny at all. But I'm laughing because, man, it's deep. They go hard on you.
Yeah. So we'll see there. But I think that's a reason for him to go ahead and say, you know what? It's been fun, guys. We ended on a high note.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take my talents to the NFL.
It makes sense. I can't argue with it.
I think Jim's gone. But the question is, out of those 7 teams, which would be the best fit for him? Which do you think there's a particular team that he'd be best on out of the Panthers, Chargers, Falcons, Commanders, Titans, Seahawks, Raiders?
I know who wants to go somewhere bad, but it was just something in my body that moved when you said the Panthers. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. Something just, Panthers. I felt something. Because it's like, I think
Jim could fix Bryce, or not fix, but
make it
Bryce
right.
Young as good as he can be.
Make it right.
Okay.
Bring a philosophy that's going to
The one
ignite.
thing that's going to hurt Panthers for any coach coming in is they do not have a first-round draft pick this year. None. They traded it to the Bears. They would have had number 1, but they traded it to the Bears last year.
That's where what you just said, Mike, made me revert back to what you told me earlier. Washington is second
Yeah.
draft pick.
Well, yeah. Well, see, I believe that the Commanders are the destination because they want complete change over there. They got new ownership. They got Magic Johnson in there. He probably already knows Jim, and because he was the coach at the 49ers too out in California. They probably know each other, I'm sure. But I really think it would be cool to have Jim next door to his brother in the NFC.
Yeah.
Washington is right next to Baltimore. They're like an hour away or so.
Yeah.
2 hours max.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
Well, I mean.
And they got the number 2 picks so they can get the quarterback that they want.
Well, it's got sentimental value, but business is business. Who got the most dough?
Right. Which, yeah. But I think with the Commanders, I think it'd be a good fit for Jim. And it's, like I said, kind of they're starting all new with the new ownership. Like they're trying to turn the corner, turn the page, and completely change the culture.
Yeah.
Jim would be the man to do it. It's right around the corner from his brother, NFC, AFC, so they could meet in the Super Bowl. They wouldn't have to run into each other till then.
Yeah, wouldn't that be sweet?
Because I don't think he'll go to an AFC team, honestly. Like
Why not?
At this point, it would be the Seahawks, Commanders, or Falcons. Because I don't think he'd want to play against his brother until the Super Bowl.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Because they've already done that once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I tell you one
crazy
thing.
Family, y'all.
Is their father still with us?
Yeah.
Because I know he's got to be. I mean, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the Ravens are looking good, but I know he's got to be proud.
Super proud, right? So Jim brings home the championship this year, baby. Michigan Wolverines totally destroyed Washington, right? Thumped them, just did whatever. They running all over 300 yards. Oh,
they the Wolverines for a reason.
Bully ball. They held them to 13 points. Defense, stranglehold. Man, that was an old school. I almost said it. That was an old school butt whooping, Steve.
Yeah.
Old school butt whooping. So, and that's kind of how their dad taught him. That's how he That's how he coached at Western Kentucky. Same type. He was running the ball down your throat, try to play good defense. Dad won a championship in 2002, which was the year after I quit. I walked on. I played under him briefly until injuries ended my career, which was short. But I like Jack Harbaugh.
If they all get, that's valuable.
Yeah,
that's legendary.
So he's a good coach, but that's you can tell, like, that's what a lot of times coaches. There's a lot of, if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of coaches in the NFL and in college whose parents were coaches.
Yeah.
It's like it becomes like a thing basically that they teach to their kids. They're around them so much growing up, and they're around football that a lot of them gravitate and end up coaches as well. Kyle Shanahan's one of them. There's a bunch, but Jim and John were around their dad a lot when he was coaching, so it rubbed off onto him, and that's why they're both coaches now. But what a legacy, man! Like, for real though, like you said it. Now my buddy Jim, we go way back to 1997. That's when I met him at his football camp at Western Kentucky, right? So it's a beautiful thing, man, to have that legacy.
Yeah.
He's got 2 sons, right? Which dad ain't no slouch neither.
Right.
He won a Division II championship.
Right.
At Western Kentucky. And that was a beautiful there. I was at school there that year, and I was and that was a great time. It was a great time. So but his sons won a Super Bowl. His oldest son won a Super Bowl. Youngest son has now won college football championship Division I. Like, wow.
Well,
3 levels. Champion.
I can't say too, it's just, that's hands down. You know what I'm saying? That's a legacy, and it's a beautiful thing to see, and hopefully in the future we'll see more of it, but I that would be for a long time. We might not be around, but I got to give props out to Pops, because Pops is, he raised 2 soldiers.
Props to Pops for sure, man. But he helped raise a lot of other kids too, because as a coach, you are a mentor and all that, and he coached for many, many years. And I will say, he said one of the best things ever said to me as a coach after practice one day. He said to everybody, he said, and it was a situation where a couple of football players had gotten into a fight or something the weekend before at a party or something. And, he just addressed the team about it. And he just said, young men, in life, I can tell you, nothing good happens after midnight. Right? He said, because after midnight is when trouble happens. Drunkenness, fights, public intoxication, impregnating women. Nothing good
hold on,
happens after midnight.
Let's go.
Right?
Let's
so
go.
He's trying to straighten us out, man.
Let's jump into our next segment.
We trying to straighten us out.
We coaching life coaches now. Let's jump into it. But you know what? I will say this before we do move on. Props to you. Big respect. Yes. You raised 2 soldiers, and they doing their thing to the fullest.
And the oldest is about to get his second Super Bowl, y'all. So in my eyes, though, Steve, as we're gonna switch gears here in a second, but the Harbaugh family is American football royalty.
But I mean, I'm NFC. The Ravens is in the AFC. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's
get into it because you said they're about to. I don't know.
Let's go. I'm ready. All right. We're gonna take a little break though, y'all, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna duke it out. Steve's got the NFC, I got the AFC. It's on like Donkey Kong, y'all. Let's go. We'll be right back. Kentucky Fried Pickin is sponsored by none other than the legendary Kentucky Fried Chicken. Secret herbs and spices to go along with your vices. Be sure to grab some mashed potatoes and coleslaw so your parlay don't end up in a draw. Grab yourself some world-famous chicken because it sure is finger-licking, and keep listening to Kentucky Fried Pickin. Check for specials and promotions at kfc.com. Welcome back to Kentucky Fried Pickin. We sure do appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you keep checking us out every Friday, even after the season, because we're going to have some great shows all year round, y'all. And don't forget, Kentucky Fried Mashup is in the works, and it'll be coming out later this year. So that brings us to our picks, y'all. Steve has his NFC picks, which he is he's over there cheesing right now.
Yep.
He thinks he's got some good stuff, but the AFC, we're ready for him. But let's go ahead and see what you got first, Steve.
The NFC's been dominant for a reason for so long. But I'm going to go with Dallas versus the Packers. Dallas is the number 2 seed. Packers are the number 7 seed. I'm just going to spit it out there. I'm about to bring some facts to y'all. Dak's got the most sacks. He's got the most interceptions. But guess what covers all that up? He's got the most TDs. I mean, and then they averaging 29.9 points per game. It's just going to be hard to deal with Dallas. At any time, they could step up. And then don't forget about the kicker. Now, kickers are important, y'all. Brandon Aubrey, he's a rookie. He's 28 years old. He's a rookie, but he's got the most points out of anybody.
Dang, 28-year-old rookie.
Yeah,
he's got a story to tell though. He's played like different sports, right? Soccer,
yeah, he comes from soccer.
Yeah,
but that lets you know that soccer must really train because he hit like I think. Don't quote me on this, y'all, but I think it was 35 in a row before he got blocked.
Yeah.
So, and I think he just got blocked by Washington, I believe.
So the last game of the year.
Yeah, and he's you can't underestimate field goals because you can beat somebody off field goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just what I won't go with Dallas and then the Packers, y'all.
I think there's the average in the NFL is like 3 points or something like the a win difference.
Yeah. And then of course I didn't I ain't even going into CD and Parlay, but y'all know y'all know
CD's
all of that.
CD's gonna eat.
Yeah.
I definitely like the Cowboys in this too, but Packers could surprise some folks. Love's been playing real nice.
Yeah, let's see. That's what I was gonna say. Dak is first, but guess who's second in TDs? Love.
Yeah. surprisingly. First year starting, and he started off shaky. He made a good comeback. He's looked pretty good, man. He's got Packer fans giving him some hope. So it should be a pretty good game. It's probably good for the Cowboys. It's not in Green Bay, that's for sure, though.
But Mike, guess who else is back? Aaron Jones. You see what I'm saying? Things changed immediately.
Yeah.
So
but
I'm going with Dallas, y'all. But that's a great game.
Dallas, are you doing the line or money line, or are you doing the spread?
No money line. I just think Dallas is going to win because at this point, I think everybody's competitive.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do my first AFC pick, the better conference. And I'm going to go with the Browns and the Texans game. Now, this one here is a nice matchup, and it's got the two Coach of the Year candidates going against each other, or at least if you ask me. So the Browns got Kevin Stefanski. I heard that he's one of the favorites. A lot of people like him. He's had a great year as far as bringing this team together after losing Deshaun Watson for the year. Then they had two other backups. I think one of them got hurt. And then he finally gave Joe a revival opportunity. And
Absolutely.
Joe's taking full advantage. At 38, he got him off the couch, and he's in here making plays. So he is a potential candidate for Coach of the Year. But on the other sideline is also my pick for the Coach of the Year in DeMeco Ryans. Now, you're talking about a Texans team who went from the second worst team in the NFL to making the playoffs in 1 year. That's a heck of a turnaround. So I like Ryans as Coach of the Year. So we'll see, but I really like him. As far as the game goes, Cleveland's defense is one of the stingiest pass defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And they have the third most interceptions, and they're going against a rookie quarterback in his first playoff start. So Cleveland's got that going for them. The Browns also have the sixth most sacks of any defense this year. So they're going to bring some pressure. And I think Stroud, he's going to be in a hurry all day long. So he's got his work cut out for him for sure.
And Mike, we can't forget Stroud. He is a rookie, but he's a prodigy. He's number one rookie this year as far as quarterbacks go.
Right. Which this is a great test for him to see where he really is.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. It's a playoff atmosphere. So this is really, we're going to see where he's at this year. So I'm going to see. Now, Houston's defense gave up the 8th most passing yards, but they also had the stingiest defense with a no-name defensive backfield that gave up the fewest passing TDs in the NFL this year with 17.
Yeah.
I bet you can't name a starter in their secondary.
Yeah.
Not many of you out there listening probably can either, unless you're a Texans fan.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for having a great season so far, but I think that could really slow Joe Flacco down with a stingy secondary.
Yeah.
Combined with the pass rush, Texans pass rush is led by the rookie Will Anderson, who's possibly the defensive rookie of the year, maybe, which would make possibly a duo, offensive and defensive rookie of the year with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. So that's what we mentioned earlier about the draft that the Texans had at 1. They took Stroud at 1, or no, 2, right?
Yeah, I think he was at, because Bryce Young was first.
Yeah, he was at 2, but then they turned around, traded, and got Will Anderson at number 3. So they had back-to-back picks, and man, they hit on them. So those are looking good for them.
Yeah,
and that's part of the turnaround this year that you see is led by Stroud and Anderson on defense. So so kudos to them. But here's one of the biggest things that I really like taking away. It's a tough matchup, and I really want to see Joe keep playing at a high level. I love to see the OGs out there doing it still.
Yeah.
I want to see him do well, and I wouldn't be hurt if Cleveland wins. But I think the Texans and their youth are actually going to win this one. The Browns are 8-1 at home, but they're not in Ohio anymore.
Yeah.
They got to travel to Houston, and on the road, they haven't been so good. They're only 3-5 this year on the road, and the Texans are 6-3 at home. So my money is on Houston in this one, baby. I'm going money line for the Texans.
And one thing I just hope, Flacco doesn't just all of a sudden show his age. I hope he can keep it going. Just keep it going, Flacco. Don't let us down where you just all of a sudden implode. This is like, oh my.
Do it for us, all us middle-aged folks out here. Do it for us, Flacco. We believe in you, baby.
Yeah.
Make us proud.
Yeah, for real.
So what game you got next, Steve?
Okay, I got the 3 seed, the Lions, against the 6th seed, the Rams. Okay, y'all, I got to let me go on because I'm gonna be long-winded on this. So let me just spill it out. First of all, the Rams looking great. The Rams is the running back. I mean, when he comes in, it's a different game. Puka most catches and receiving yards in a rookie season. I mean, I can't say enough. And at any time,
caught everybody by surprise.
Oh, and just how I said that Flacco can implode, guess what? This player I'm about to name can explode. Cup could just at any time get right back to where he was. Okay, now that's a problem for everybody. But let me go to, because that's everybody knows that. So let me go to the Lions, y'all. Okay, 2 weeks ago, he goes for 3 2-point conversions. Okay.
He's going to beat him down again, y'all.
Yeah, I was talking to this last week to Mike about this because I forgot it, but the fake Bill Cowher. And then if you don't care, now it's different. If you don't care, that's cool. Don't play no starters. I'm like, oh, he don't care. So then you can play like it. Go for 3 2-point conversions. But then this week, I'm thinking, well, okay, if you don't care, you're going to sit your starters. No, he plays his starters. And guess what? The best tight end of the season gets a hyperextended knee and a bone bruise. Okay. See, you see where I'm going? Yeah. These decisions are not. They having some success. He needs to make decisions like a coach that wants to keep the success, and he's not. He's making decisions like a coach that's just out there free ball and doing whatever he wants. If you having success, you need to respect it. But that's enough about that, y'all. Matter of fact, I've done talked about him so much it's made me upset.
Tough words, Dan.
Yeah. I'm going with the Rams. Just see that talking right there. It made me change my mind.
Well, I'm going with the Rams. You know what I was thinking, Steve, as you was talking about that? I was thinking about all year how we've been talking about how wishy-washy the Lions been.
Yeah.
And that's what was going through my mind when you were talking about that. And it's funny because I'm with you. I'm on the Rams. I think they were starting to heat up anyway near the end of the season.
Yeah.
And they've got weapons on offense. Kyron Williams, is he gonna be playing?
Yeah.
He's in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be ready.
Make them a whole different team.
Yeah, they're gonna be ready. And I'm definitely pulling for the Rams. I do believe they are going to be going to the second round of the playoffs. And of course, they got Aaron Donald, monster, and even though as I say this and as I pick the Rams, y'all can't see me, but I'm sitting here in my Barry Sanders jersey.
Yeah. Boom.
I got to give respect to the legend.
Yes.
And that's why I had it today just to honor him,
You was thinking because I was going to say that before. Yes. Like that. Boom.
But the Lions, they not ready yet.
Barry Sanders, big dog. I know you proud of your Lions, but I know you see the same thing we see. But they there 30 years, first division, home game.
But one step at a time, right? So they're making good progress, the Lions, because they've been so bad for so long that, it still takes time. They're getting close. But we'll see if Dan Campbell's going to be able to take them to that next level or not. And we're going to find out this weekend.
And just before we go, and I think this is funny, it makes me think sometimes you need an owner like Jerry Jones who will come on the field and get right next to you to tell you, don't do that.
Don't get me started on Jerry. Come on now. He's trying to make amends. He put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. You're going to try to make me get mad at him again. All right, moving on to the next one. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. Now, there isn't any snow this week, so that's good for the Steelers. But it is going to be cold, but, the Steelers are used to the cold too, so that's not really an advantage here in this situation. The Bills beating the Dolphins last week and winning the AFC East division was huge, Steve. I mean, it was huge.
Yeah.
And Buffalo and the elements, I mean, it does pose an advantage, but like I said, not as strong against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they would have been matched up with the Dolphins, then definitely. But so that's not as big of a factor here. But I do have 3 syllables for y'all. T.J. Watt. He's out, y'all. He's not playing. His knee is injured. That's a major blow for this defense. A major blow. And this isn't one of those great defenses that the Steelers have had over the years. I would say this is maybe an above average defense, but they're not great. So losing TJ is really going to put them in a bind because he brings so much to the table because he's solid in the run. Yeah. He's a great pass rusher. So losing TJ,
That's an understatement.
That is a huge problem for them. And I see Josh Allen performing at a much higher level without T.J. Watt in his face all night. And he's in front of the home crowd with Stephen Diggs and James Cook and Dalton Kincaid eating up. So I'm really liking the Bills in this one. The Steelers played tough near the end to even get in the playoffs. So I mean, they should be proud of that. They saved Tomlin's job, so they should definitely be proud of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the biggest issue here is T.J. Watt. He's such a game changer on defense. I mean, he really brings the pressure, and I just don't think the Steelers going to be able to do it, especially with Mason Rudolph. The playoffs is when now you can get by on some regular season games and win some with some lower level quarterbacks, but when it comes to these games, you need an elite quarterback to get to that next level. And no offense, Mason, but he's not elite, which I think he knows that. But he's a pretty humble guy. You know, he's like, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm living my dream, and this is great. So I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. So much respect to you, but I do think the Buffalo Bills are gonna be stronger in this one. So yeah, so I'm taking the Bills, Steve. I don't know who you got in that one, but I'm going to Bills.
I'm with you.
So what you got next for us, Steve?
I got the number 4 seed, the Bucks, versus the number 5 seed, the Eagles. And I don't really have too much to say at all about this. The Eagles have been very disappointing. I mean, I don't even know how low you can go because they below the ground. I mean, they dropping like bricks. So I'm just going to go out on the limb and say the Bucks. That's all I got to say about that. I wanted to say the Eagles, but they just been doing so bad. I'm the Bucks.
Yeah, the Eagles really just it's like their chemistry is off. Like they're just not playing good as a team. They're not in sync. I mean, there's something going on there, and we talked off the air. You mentioned something. It might be something going on in the locker room we don't know about. But the Eagles just haven't looked good at all, man. So I like the upset here. Philly's favored by 3, but I like the Bucks. I'm with you, Steve. I think the Bucks gonna pull it out, even though they haven't been super impressive to me. But the Eagles have just looked so bad, and I just can't. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Plus, Brown's banged up. I don't know if he's gonna be 100%. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the upset there, which it is at Bucks too, because the Eagles blew their chance to win the NFC East. Keeps getting worse, y'all. So, all right. But that leads us to my last game, y'all. So, the last game of the first round of the playoffs is the game that everybody's been waiting for. Everybody all over the world. The Taylor Swift Bowl. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. The Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs, y'all.
That's a good one.
Live on Peacock. Well, wait a second. What is this? Peacock. We can't watch the damn game. What is this?
No, the app's taking over.
You got to have a subscription. You got to pay to watch the game, y'all. What is this nonsense going on? The NFL is up to their old tricks again, I tell you. And then it's funny that they chose this game with Taylor Swift because they knew that was going to bring in more people.
Absolutely.
The Swifties out there, they're going to fork over the money just to see her at the game. Man, up to their old tricks, y'all. So I won't even be tuning in. I'll wait till this game is over. And I'm going to watch it after the fact on NFL.com.
Yeah.
Right?
Peacock.
I'm even going to condense it. I'm going to watch the condensed version so I ain't got to see all the shots of Britney and Taylor in the press box.
Now Taylor. You can take out that other name, but Taylor. Now I got to. Ain't Peacock a bird?
It is.
See what that look? They taking over, y'all. But
that's the NBC's app.
But that's why I was gonna say they spreading it out because Fox, CBS, NBC, and Peacock.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, y'all. So, yeah. But I do believe the Chiefs will walk away victorious in this one.
Oh,
yes, I'm rolling with the Chiefs, y'all. So they haven't looked great over the last few weeks. They have not looked great, but I do believe that they are so battle tested in the playoffs. They're used to this.
Oh, I see.
And they are. So, yes, Steve. So, now one of the main reasons is the temperature, right? It's going to be Arctic there. It's going to be, they're talking about 0 degrees at kickoff or somewhere around there. It's going to be with the wind chill, minus something. And you're bringing in these South Beach kids, South Beach folks coming from the Miami where it's nice and warm. They're walking around in shorts all year round, and they got to go up here in this freezing, frigid temperatures it's an advantage.
Something just popped in my head, Mike, because at first I was going to say, oh, you right, Mike. And then guess what my mind said?
What's that?
Tyreek Hill. He's been in the Arctic weather. So guess what? He's letting the boys know.
Yeah.
He's ready.
He's prepping them.
That was a surprise, Mike. I didn't think, I want to see this. I got to watch it.
Yeah. But I also think, though, the Chiefs' defense is a playoff defense. They ranked 5th best against rushing TDs, giving up rushing TDs with only 10 on the year. The Dolphins' defense was 7th best against the run this year and gave up 15 TDs. And for the last month, over the last month or so, though, the Dolphins' defense has taken some lumps. I mean, huge, bad, major injuries. They lost 4 or 5 defensive starters over the last month or so, man. So that's where I think really is the difference in this game. Their defense ain't going to be strong enough to hold up. Their pass rush is going to be hurting because 2 of their top pass rushers are out against Mahomes. You give him some time, you're in trouble.
Do you think Tua is a Super Bowl quarterback?
I think he's capable of winning one if he's got a good defense, but his defense is banged up.
Okay, I'll accept it. I'll accept that.
So, I mean, if Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, I think Tua's good enough to win one.
That was a good comparison.
Yeah, but Dilfer had a great defense. So, if he's got the right defense. But honestly, though, most of all, I think one of the most interesting aspects of this game is the coaching aspect, the chess game.
Yeah.
And I believe in Andy Reid's coaching over the young buck Mike McDaniels.
Yeah.
Now, McDaniels might have a bright future, but I think Reid's going to outcoach him, and Mahomes and Kelsey are going to put on a show for their ladies in prime time. Yeah, they're not going to let down their ladies in prime time, right?
Taylor, I ain't worried
even
about
if it
Mahomes.
Isn't on prime time
Taylor.
Or on prime, instead on Peacock. They going to show out for the women.
You know what, Mike? I got to go against you. I just want to throw it in there. I'm going with Miami.
Now here's the fan coming out, and he's pulling for him now.
Yeah, I feel it. It's just I never swayed. I'm going with Miami. Yeah,
he's going with his team, y'all.
Yeah,
and Dan Marino's probably gonna be sitting in one of the boxes up there watching.
Yeah,
and they're gonna show him, and Steve's face is just gonna beam, y'all.
Yeah, I would love that. that would be. I ain't seen Dan in a long time, and he needs to be up there watching the game in the box.
Yeah, but I'm upset that this game is not on regular TV for everybody to view.
Peacock,
because not everybody can pay for Peacock and wants Peacock. We got enough apps already. So I'm a little disappointed in the NFL with that, but we gonna see. The Chiefs gonna rise. They gonna rise.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game to watch. I'm gonna like that. And when is that, Mike? Is that a Saturday, Sunday?
Oh, the Kansas City game is 8:15 on Saturday.
Oh, that's a good first game. Yes.
Now, it's not the first game. The Browns and the Houston play actually Saturday at 4:30.
Oh, that's back-to-back good games for Saturday.
Yep. I was a little disappointed, though, that they put the Philly-Tampa Bay game on Monday. I feel like that wasn't the best game to put on Monday. But anyway, I didn't make the schedule. But, we got Kansas City and Miami on Saturday night. Going to be hot.
Great.
And that's going to lead me into my player prop bets, y'all. So I also have a few over and unders here. So check it out, y'all. It's the wild card week, and I'm going to get wild, y'all. I'm going to get crazy. I got 26 picks for y'all that I really like that are good insurance bets, low risk bets that combined together can make you some good money. So I got 26 picks just in the AFC wildcard games. I'm gonna put a bet on Instagram if you guys want to go to at KentuckyFried Pickin podcast, and I will place an NFC, all my NFC picks as well. So I have 26 for the NFC, but here are my 26 AFC picks, y'all. These are some good ones. So check it out. In the Cleveland Browns at Houston Texans game, now again, like I said, an insurance bet, y'all. So I'm taking the over at 33.5. That's not what the over is, but I'm lowering it down to 33.5. So then I'm going to take CJ Stroud 200 plus yards. I believe that's a good solid bet there. Also going to go with a touchdown for CJ Stroud. And then for the Browns, I like Joe Flacco, 250 plus yards and a touchdown as well. And he's got to throw it to somebody. So I'm going to take Joku for 50 plus yards, as well as Amari Cooper, 40 plus yards coming off the injured heel. So, and then on the flip side, on the Houston Texans, I'm also going to take Nico Collins, 40-plus yards receiving, and Jerome Ford of the Browns, 25-plus yards rushing. Those are some solid picks there, low risk. Now, again, if you just bet those outright alone, single bets, they would not pay very well. But since you're combining them together, they got a good payout. So now I haven't finished these yet, but just forgot to mention. So this 26-leg parlay that I've got here, these 26 picks, if you were to put them together onto a parlay and bet them, it would pay 243 to 1 odds, y'all. 243 to 1 odds. Now, if you want to be even safer and take less risk, pick 10 of these that you really like, your favorite ones, 10 to 15 of them, and it's still going to be paying out anywhere from probably 8 to 20 to 1 odds. So here it goes, y'all. Let me finish these up. So in the next game, Miami Dolphins at Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes, 225-plus yards passing. Tua, 175-plus yards passing. Then I'm going to also take Patrick Mahomes with a passing touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 40-plus yards rushing. Then I'm going to go with Travis Kelce showing off for his woman, at least 40 yards. Come on, Travis, you can get that for me. And then I'm going to take Tyreek. He's coming back home to Kansas City. He's going to probably try to put on a show, but I'm going to take a good, safe bet at 60-plus yards. And I'm going to take the over on that at 33.5 as well as the previous game. But I'm also going to take the under 65.5. So if they score anywhere between those two, I am in the money. And I'm also going to finish that up with Patrick Mahomes under 28.5 rushing yards. So do me good, Patrick. Stay in the pocket. Throw the ball, baby. In the last game of the AFC wild cards, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. I like Josh Allen, 175-plus passing yards, which should be a lot easier with TJ Watt out. He's also going to toss a touchdown at least. So I'm going to take 1+ touchdown. He's got to throw it to somebody. Stefon Diggs, 40-plus yards, and Dalton Kincaid, 25-plus yards. I will also take Josh Allen, 25 rushing yards, as well as James Cook, 40-plus rushing yards. And I'm going to finish that out with a George Pickens, 25-plus yards, y'all. So those are my picks, as well as I want to also toss in, I forgot to mention, Dalton Schultz, 25-plus yards. That makes 26 picks, y'all. And that would pay 243 to 1 odds. That's beautiful. So you can ride with me, get wild with me. I'm going to bet it, see what happens. It's low risk, a lot of low risk bets that wouldn't pay very well on their own, but combined together, they make a nice payout that maybe won't have you ready to retire, but you will be able to take a vacation. So good luck, y'all. And don't forget to check out our Instagram at KentuckyFried Pickin Podcast for my 26 NFC wildcard picks. Remember to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and send the link to a friend to enjoy. We appreciate the love, y'all. We really, really do. All right, y'all, that brings us to the closing of our show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We hope y'all got some good picks lined up. Get your bets in, get your money, y'all. Steve, you got anything for them before we get out of here?
Yeah, y'all be safe. Watch these games, because money's out there to be made.
Money to be made. Let's get it, y'all. Go get your money. But don't forget, 2024 is all about love and respect. So spread the love, y'all. And until the next time, peace.
Do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend and tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
champion. I'm recognized all over the world now, but my greatness came and started in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's one of the greatest cities in America, Louisville, Kentucky. And I predict that Louisville, Kentucky will have another world champion because Louisville is the greatest.